Hello, hello, hello. I need to invest in a new webcam, as this looks terrible. Terrible. Awful, terrible, no good. Looks bad. If I turn this light on, maybe that'll help a little bit. Maybe. It just looks like there's a light on the side of my face. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? Now we gotta find 0 concurrent viewers. That's not good. YouTube told me to okay, well, YouTube told me to give this a fun title, but it seems that's hurt the viewership, so we'll just get rid of that. That should fix it. Because it seems like people don't want there to be a name in here. Either that or just nobody's here yet. One of the two. Yo, I'm not going to chat with you tonight. I'm very tired. That's okay. Sup, reaching for vodka tonight. Yeah, I'll do it. Rick Hoover says, yo, have a good chat with the others. You too. See you later. Champagne, yes. Sup. Good night. Hello. Everybody. Hello. Hello to everyone. This guitar is badly out of tune, but I don't feel like tuning it right now. I know I'm not as hot as a flame that burned before me. I've been flipping through all your moments and tearing out memories. How long can you carry this note? How low can we keep digging this hole until we come out on the other side? Crawling through mud, what's the difference when you come out on the other side? Running from grace, what's the difference when you come out on the other side? The other side, where you come out alone. just sounded like shit. Will, you're such a good guitarist. I'm really not. I'm not at all. None of those were even actual chords. None of them. Ralph says hi. A bunch of people said good night. Nice hat. Hello, everyone. Love that hat. Guitar emojis. Sup, Craig? Amazing. Hello, Craig. Hi, Marco. Chance can sing better than me. Well, I don't know. I never heard you sing. Rick Hoover says they went to their store today. They had a Silver Glide with a crackhead price. Benny says just picked up a Kirby Heritage from the thrift store for $12. Nice. CSA Ziron says I would kick my Kirby Centria, but it would hurt. Well, yeah. Not really any reason to do that. The fans on my computer are revving up. My computer's been a little fucky as of late, so if this stream cuts out randomly, it's probably because my computer blue screened. I need to set up my actual proper desktop. I need to get a new webcam. Sorry I'm late. Well, either way, you're doing good. Hey, I appreciate it. I've been trying to learn, not on guitar, I've been trying to learn how to sing The Other Side by Red Sun Rising. Closed and eyes sealed, your sculpture with a pulse. I wanna capture your essence and keep you here forever, little one. And I feel good about you not telling anyone. You're just like motionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. Motionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. You feel nothing as I send your soul away. How long will you last? And how long will you stay? As guilty as I'm feeling, I'll keep you beautiful forever. Until I put you away to nothing, we'll be beautiful here together. I feel good about you not telling. I feel good about you. You're just emotionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. You're just emotionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. As you're falling apart, as you're falling apart, that sure seems I don't know the rest of the song. That wasn't The Other Side. That was Emotionless, which is, I think, the more well-known of the two Red Sun Rising songs, of the two Red Sun Rising hits. Is this stream fucking up again? No, it says excellent connection. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, it looks fine. That wasn't the other side. That was emotion. You fall asleep as you're falling apart, as you're falling apart. Huh. Oh, that's the wrong window. Okay, everyone's saying the stream's glitching, but on my end it looks fine. What's it doing? It says excellent connection. As you're falling apart. As if oh, there it goes. Oh, there. Okay. Is it better now? It froze and it restored itself. Okay, that's what I thought. Because when I turned it on live, then it like just blanked out. Okay. At least it's better now. You probably think that you are better now, better now. Okay, so now that we've got plenty of people here, I'll go ahead and mention. So I'll tell a quick little. Well, first I'll say that yet another Dyson is coming to the studio for review. They had a special deal on the V8 Absolute, the 2022 version, which I've been wanting to get to replace my V11 anyways because the V11 is too heavy for me. And so I plan on, so once I get the V8, I'm going to sell the V11. In fact, I'm selling the V11 right now, technically. But, yeah, so selling the V11 and replacing it with the V8. I'm also probably going to sell the Honitor and the DreamTech as well because I don't really use them all that much. The Honitor I kind of stopped using because it's not as powerful as the Dyson, although I do still use the Honitor quite a bit. V11 Obese, it's not the outsize, it's just the normal V11, it's the torque drive. But still, if it was the V11 Obese, as Alex likes to call it, or the outsize, then yeah, I definitely would have a problem with it, even more so. I just saw John Smith's video on the V11 outsize, and I'm just looking at that thing, and it looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculously big. But yeah, so I'm getting the V8, and it's the Absolute, so it'll have the fluffy roller, it'll have all the extra well, not all the extra attachments. I'm pretty sure the only extra attachment that I want that doesn't come with is the light pipe crevice tool, which I really want to get. So the interesting thing is that I ordered it through my local service center, the same one that fixed my Animal 2 and my 41, and I ordered the ball Animal 3 too. I was very happy with that. And unfortunately, I guess just because of the time that I ordered it, I'm not going to get it till Tuesday, which is the same time period as the normal warehouse. So it wasn't really any faster, but I'm not complaining. It's not necessarily slower, so that's fine. My thing is that I ordered it, and then I realized that I have a, or at least from what I can tell, when I go to the Dyson website, I go under the owner rewards section, which I always qualify for because I have a million fucking Dysons. The V8 Absolute is part of that. So I just paid full price, basically the V8, all these numbers. So I paid the $349 for the V8 Absolute, which is what it's on sale for right now, which after taxes was $385 roughly. And in fact, I think that's exactly what it was. So or $386, I guess, because if you round it up. So the V8 Absolute is part of the 20% off owner rewards thing. So at first I thought, okay, I'm going to, even though I just bought it through my service center, I'm just going to
buy it through the website, get the discount code, and then cancel the first one. Except it's supposed to, during checkout, give me the coupon code. That's supposed to give me the 20% off as part of the owner rewards. And it wasn't working. Like, it, not like the code was invalid, it just wasn't giving me the code in the first place. So, I don't know if it's like a glitch, because the owner rewards is only applicable for certain machines, which is kind of stupid, but that's just the way that Dyson works. It was on the section of the website on owner rewards. It's, it's on that portion. So, I have a hard time believing that it's not applicable for it, but the representative at the service center, who I actually know, by the way, John, he's really cool. He, I don't know if I don't know if he wants me to say his name. Shit. Either way, he didn't mention anything about there being a 20% off for owner rewards, but I also didn't think to ask because I was like, I knew they were about to close, and I wanted to just place the order and get it over with, because my service center doesn't open again until Tuesday. So by the time that I'm able to call back and get that sorted, I'm sure they would have already shipped it, unless I call maybe like really early in the morning. But every time I set an alarm for myself to get up early in the morning, I just sleep right through it, and it never wakes me up. So I don't know if I need to change my alarm. Maybe I need to change my alarm, because I know that, what even is my alarm right now? I think it's just the default, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it doesn't even show my alarm that was just supposed to wake me up. Okay, let me go. I'm just gonna set an alarm right now, because I want to try to get called back before I get, just to make sure. I mean, it's possible. I almost wonder if because it never gave me a code, and obviously the actual Dyson line is closed now too. So I'm trying to figure out if the code just doesn't apply to this model, and like that's just a glitch on the website, which happens a lot. Dyson's website is just a mess, and if it's that, or if it actually qualifies. Because if it qualifies, then I want to cancel my order and do it again with the 20% off, so I can spend less money. But, because why spend money that you don't have to? Because if I do the math on that, the $349 times the 20% off discounts, that's only 80%. That's $279, which would put my total at probably like maybe $315, maybe something like that, versus $385. So I'd like to be nice to not spend that extra $50, 60 or like $70. But yeah, so I'm not sure. Happy very early Halloween, boo. Yeah, I gotta get some soon. I'll have to get some candy for the trick-or-treaters. I don't know if there'll be any trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood, but we'll see. I'll get some just in case. I really hope there are, because I don't like candy, so if I just have this big basket of candy that I then can't do anything with, I'm gonna be sad. Because I can't eat candy because it hurts my teeth. I'd probably have a cavity by now, even though I brush my teeth twice a day. Yes, very happy early Halloween to everyone. You're fine. The owner rewards does apply. Oh, as soon as I mentioned it, John just pops in here. Oh, that's perfect. Hey, John. You're fine. The owner rewards does apply to the V8 Absolute. However, there is no double discounting. So if the sale price is better than the 20%, you don't get an additional 20%. You just get the sale price. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I don't need to call and cancel that. I'll just leave it then, because I think the $150 off from because it was that model's originally like, what, 500, I think? I can look real quick. So I would imagine the 150 off is already going to be better than the 20%. So, okay, that's fine. So, yeah, so I don't know if you got, because I did call the service center back, but it was already closed, and I just hung up before I left a message. So, uh, so yeah, so if I don't know if you, when you go back into work, if you have a missed call from me, that's what I was calling about. So you don't have to call me back. Uh, okay, yeah, okay. So I still got it for the best price that I could get it for. Okay, nice. Okay, perfect. So, I mean, I guess it'd be nice to give that extra 20%, but I understand why Dyson doesn't want to do double discounts, because that can get pretty ridiculous. But so that's fair. 350 is still a pretty good price, or I think my receipt was like 385 or something like that. So not bad considering it comes with all the attachments. So John, now my only question is, because whenever I went on the website, I think it said $75 worth, but I could be wrong. It said that the machine includes a certain number of dollars worth of attachments with it, which is applicable in my case because it's obviously different than the upright. I already have all the upright attachments, obviously, but the cordless ones are different. So, I assume I'd be able to still get those, or is that just through the website? Because because I'm pretty sure the only one that it doesn't come with that I want is the light pipe crevice tool, which I assume, knowing Dyson, is probably the same price. I'll look it up real quick. Actually, I'll just look it up right now, and we'll figure it out together for everyone who's watching this. Okay, so let's go to Dyson. Let me actually vacuum cleaners. All right, let me switch over to the desktop capture, and we'll go through this together. Okay. So, of course, this is going to lag a hell of a lot, but I'm going to see how much I'm sure John knows, but yeah, light pipe. Oh, $60 for the light pipe crust. Well, that's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be, like 100, knowing Dyson. Okay, so I'm trying to see, what does the V8 Absolute, because I didn't actually look to see what the V8 Absolute comes with. I just kind of bought it. I know it comes with a soft roller, which is what I'm concerned with. So let me go look and see what it actually comes with, so I know exactly what I'm getting. Let's see. So, cordless. I'm buying so many Dysons as of late. Oh, there's a new V12. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty. Let's see. V8. Here we go. Explore. Let's explore the V8 and probably put the chat on the side here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I never that until today. I assume that means I never knew that until today. By the way, all the Dyson vacuums are currently now on honorable awards. Nice. Nice. Okay, and I assume since they don't stack discounts, that also meant that when the Animal 2 Total Clean goes back to $3.99, I assume that would also be the cheapest I'd be able to get it for. Right? Let's see. I did hear Dyson cordless vacuums are heavy in the hand. Only the V11 and sooner, or presumably the V10 as well. Although I've heard some people say the V10 is lighter than the V11, but from what I've heard, it's like really close. So it's mainly the V10-ish and especially 11 and newer that are heavy in the hand. And I can only imagine the outsize is even worse. That's why I elected to go with the V8, even though technically the V11 is supposed to be better. Slightly more powerful, but in my case I didn't have the proper cleaner head on it anyways, so it wasn't going to be to its full potential, and the price of buying the new cleaner head was a lot from what I could tell. Last I checked, the torque drive power heads were out of stock, but that was a long time ago. Those 3 extra attachments come in the box already. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because it's only like one. Oh, that makes sense. Because on the uprights you would have to actually choose, but with the cordlesses it's just the one package, right? Now that the Absolute is a Dyson exclusive, they just throw everything in one box versus sending a separate package. That makes sense. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, there's also a V12 for wet messes now available overseas. Oh, that's cool. Speaking of wet messes, what I really want to get. Okay, I'll turn this back to my face cam real quick. So, um, obviously I would have to find one used because Dyson doesn't produce this anymore. But speaking of wet Dysons, the one of the cord even though I don't normally collect Dyson cordless vacuums, one of the cordless older Dysons that I want to pick up is the I think it's called the Dyson Hard. It's either 56 or 59 DC. I'm pretty sure it's DC 56, but it's like white. It's like mostly white and gray ish, and it has like a Swiffer pad almost as its cleaner head. So it's basically like Dyson's version of like a Swiffer sweep and vac, but hopefully, unlike a sweep and vac, actually good. Now, I'd love to get one of those. The problem is that Dyson obviously doesn't make the pads anymore, so I'm not sure how far I would get with that if I wanted to actually use it. Even if I did adapt it to my V8, uh, you know, that sort of thing. So I want to get one, but of course I wouldn't be able to use it because even if the one that I buy secondhand comes with a pad, I can't get replacements. So once that eventually deteriorates, yes, I think they were washable, but I could be wrong. Uh, those pads, even if they are like the washable ones from like a steam mop, still don't last forever. So, yeah. Let's see. Dang, that's interesting. Shark is better. Yeah. I don't use Insta. I use Snap. I don't. Yeah, I don't use. I have an Instagram and I have a Snapchat. Do we need to have a battle over this? A battle over what? I have a Twitter and all that, and but it's not you know I don't really use it. The V10 is almost as light as the V8, 5.9 pounds versus 5.5 pounds. Oh, damn it! I should have got the V10. Well, I still wanted to get the V8 either way because technically the V10. I know they're both updated with the motor bar cleaner head, but as far as the design itself, like of the actual unit itself, to my knowledge, the V10 has not been updated, whereas the V8 has, because it has the new filters. Um, Still basically the same, but it has like the transparent purple filter like the V11 and newer have, whereas the V10 does not. At least the one I saw at Best Buy didn't. But yeah, so I guess I have to get a V10 now. I'll stick with the V8 for now. I only have so much money to spend because my TV just broke. In case you can you see my bedroom TV is missing, right? That's because it's in the living room, because my living room TV broke. It just like spazzed out and the colors went shitty on it, and it's from 2018, so it's definitely out of warranty. So I'm not getting a new TV. My fiance is getting a new TV, but as part of the deal, my fiance says that uh, since we're getting a new TV, I want you to get a 4K game console of some kind. Basically a 4K Xbox because we play Xbox. So now the Xbox Series S or X, I wouldn't get the Series S because I don't support digital, but the Xbox Series X is still really expensive, and yeah, I still can't find them anywhere, anyways. So obviously the V8 is my big purchase of the month. So I'm gonna pick up from Disc Replay tomorrow. I'm gonna pick up an Xbox One X. So because my Xbox One S just died because I opened it up trying to clean it out, because we got it filled with bugs. Ugh. And so I had to open it up to clean it out, get all the bugs out of it because that's gross. And in the process, the power supply shorted itself, and in the process of me putting it back together, I broke the power button. So I got to buy a new power supply and power board, which for both it's probably like $40, I think, which is not bad. So I'm gonna buy the Xbox One X for now, and then yeah, bugs. Obviously, roaches is what I mean. I don't want to say roaches because that's just so gross. Um, but yeah, and unfortunately, we bug bombed the house, and I'll go ahead and talk about this. I know it's gross, but it's like other people struggle with this too, so I don't think it's it doesn't mean you're dirty or anything, in my opinion, but it can. But I know we have like dirty neighbors, so that's probably what it is. I actually saw two of them today, and I was like, one was like in my guitar, and the other one was in the bathroom, and I was just like, what the fuck? So on Monday, I'm going to call a company and have them come over, because that's ridiculous. Even after I bombed, because that's supposed to fix it, but ugh, that's just awful. I hate that shit so much. Because of course, it makes you feel gross and all that, and which I don't understand why. Like, I keep a clean house. Yes, some of my rooms are disorganized, but there's not trash anywhere. So, but I don't know. It was probably, I don't know. But so I'm gonna have to get that taken care of, and yeah, that's annoying. That's sad, but what are you gonna do? So got to get that taken care of. But I'm mentioning that because that's why I took apart the Xbox, was to get all the bugs out of it and get all the dust and dirt out of it. And so I broke it, so now I'm going to buy an Xbox One X, and I'm still going to replace the parts in my One S, and then I'll probably just put it in the bedroom whenever we put the actual current bedroom TV back in here. And yeah, because Xbox One kind of makes more sense to have in the bedroom than a 360, because the Xbox One can play all of the consoles, all the Xbox stuff. Well, except like the one or two games that are exclusive on the Series X. And I'm gonna trade in some game stuff to GameStop and put it towards a pre-order, or I think it's out now, and put it towards the new Call of Duty. And I'll be doing a review of that on the second channel on Intelitech Mobile. So if you want to see game-related content and more info about that sort of stuff, then subscribe to Intelitech Mobile. But yeah, so V8 Absolute is on the way. And again, I'll actually look and see what it comes with, because I actually don't know. I just knew it came with the fluffy head, and I'm going to look it up right now if I can find the damn OBS to switch the cameras. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so this is what I just got, the V8 Absolute. My face cam might be in the way, but you get the idea. So, see more. Let's see what this actually comes up. I guess it did just show right there. Only a Dyson. Includes fluffy cleaner head for hard floors plus 3 accessories. Okay, nice. Where are... oh, here we go. Okay. Fluffy cleaner head, motor bar cleaner head, hair screw tool. Oh, so I get the new tool. That's kind of cool. Crevice tool, combination tool. Believe it or not, I actually don't have these, the crevice tool or the combination tool, for my V11. So I haven't been able to really use it to get into corners and stuff. The charger, the dock, the stubborn dirt brush, the up top adapter, and the fabric and mattress tool. Awesome. So yeah, I still want to get the light pipe crevice tool, but obviously I have the regular crevice tool in the meantime, so that's fine. But yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I assume the extra attachments that John was talking about is the mattress tool, the up top adapter, and the stubborn dirt brush, which is kind of cool. I don't know if I would ever use the dirt brush, because I feel like that's something I would use on an upright instead, which I have that tool for the upright. But the up top adapter would be pretty handy. And of course the mattress and fabric tool I would use all the time. I'd probably use it instead of the hair screw tool, in all honesty, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's nice. So pretty good. Yeah, okay, free toolkit worth $75 included. I assume this is... Yep, okay, yeah, you're right. So this is the, those are the three that's included. So I guess the normal SKU of the Absolute without the extra tools is just the addition of the soft roller and the hair screw tool, substituting the standard mini turbo head, or whatever it's called. What is going on, lol? I don't know. Apparently there's a bunch of people freaking out in chat. Y'all, what is your rarest vacuums? My rarest vacuum is probably the GE, I presume. What is Matthew doing? Jesus Christ. What? What is going on? Jesus. Apparently Matthew Broom freaked out and everyone freaked out about it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I see. Everyone's bitching about Shark versus Dyson. I mean, y'all know what side I'm on. And as OP, I'm going to have to end this argument. The answer is Dyson. There's actually nearly 20 or more complaints Dyson has made against Shark where they had to take down false advertising. I saw that on Vacuum Facts' video. Even though I don't usually like Vacuum Facts, because he's obviously slanted towards Dyson, he's like a dick to everybody in the comments. He does kind of bring up some good points. He just does it in a really arrogant manner. And I really wish that he would be more, like, civil to his viewers in the comments. Anytime someone says anything even remotely critical of what he presented in the video, even in a nice way, he'll just lash out at them and he'll start calling them names, and usually, like, what he'll say is he'll use like a million different big words to say nothing of substance. You know, like, you have brought forth no evidence for this, even if it's something like an opinion, where it's like, I'm just saying, I had problems with... Someone would be like, I had problems with my Dyson. And he'd be like, no, you're wrong. I have no evidence to believe that you're not lying. And it's like, look, I acknowledge, look, I like Dyson, but I'm not, I'm not, like a shill or anything. I'm not paid by Dyson. I kind of wish I was. But, but, even if I was, I'd still be like, look, I like them, but... To be honest, the main reason why I like Dyson isn't necessarily because Dyson is, like, that much better than everybody else, but it's because so many other brands have just gotten shittier and shittier over the years. Even really good machines, like, have really big flaws with them that people do not notice. Like, with, like, I have my Miele U1. It's a great machine. But what they don't tell you is that it's incredibly heavy and impossible to maneuver, and the swivel neck is not... While the actual swivel neck itself is built very well, it doesn't actually swivel all that much. And then with the Cibo G1, similar sort of complaint, where nobody mentions in their review that, or at least if they do, it's like a very small footnote, like, oh, by the way, you can't shut off the brush roller on this, so it's useless on hard floors. So it's like, why would I spend... Now, granted, the U1's discontinued, and the G1's been replaced with the G4, but I own a Miele U1. I own a Cibo G1. I love the vacuums. They're really good. But the reason why I still use a Dyson over them is because the Miele is too heavy, and the bags are also really expensive, and you can't use generics, otherwise it destroys the machine, because that's a good design. And the Cibo is a great machine. I love my Cibo, but the brush roller doesn't shut off. And so it's... Not only is it useless in floor mode, it's useless for the tools as well, because you don't want to use a vacuum tool. You don't want to use tools on a vacuum, ideally, on a machine where you can't shut off the brush roller, because if the machine bops forward, it's going to start burning your carpet. Now, thankfully, the Cibo doesn't do this, but it's still something I'm always having to worry about. And because the hose, the wand on the Cibo is not... It's not really nice, because of the way that the hose slides down into it and locks into it. It doesn't seal very well, so it leaks suction out of it, and then it also just isn't a lot of reach. Now, for what it's intended for, which is businesses that are just pulling out the hose real quick to do an edge and then sticking it back in, and they're not really thinking about it, it's great. It's designed. That's what it's primarily designed for. But obviously, consumer machines are, fitted with the same hose, and it's a problem. But then I hear other people say, "Oh, but the Dyson's bad because you can't store the wand on the machine when you're not using it." And it's like, if you're using the hose, you're gonna have the wand either attached to the hose or next to you while you're using the hose, anyways. So, the only exception the one point that I can see is, for example, you see these like shelves right here with doors that open. So all my collectible Xboxes are up there, and I had this open, and I was using the dusting brush on my Ball Animal 2 and cleaning out, just dusting off that portion. So I had the wand like set on the bed, and then I went into the living room and started dusting off more furniture, and then I had to walk back in here to grab the wand. So that I can see the point, how, oh, you have to then go back for the wand. But I mean, that wasn't, sure, you could say that's annoying, but for me personally, it was never an issue, because I'm used to Dysons, I'm used to Phantoms, and it never really bothered me, because I would rather have the inline hose design than something like a Shark or a Sibo, where you have to have an extra piece that adds to the weight of the machine. That's just personally what I prefer. The only problem is that the changeover valves on newer Dysons are built like shit and break all the time. But other than that, it's better in my opinion. But hey, I've been metaphorically beating the crap out of my Animal 2, and I've been using it for all sorts of stuff, and I have not been gentle with it, because I know the hose can break on it, but I've been using it the way I normally would, and I've been just kind of not like trying to break it per se, but the way that I normally use it. Like if I'm going to recline it, I'll yank it down and then start going like the way you're supposed to, and I just keep going along. Everyone's arguing while I'm ranting about my Dyson. But yeah, anyways, so let's see. Dyson Shark are bullshit. Dyson at least sells parts. Buy a commercial Hoover and Henry. Job fucking done. Hello everyone and new viewers. What did Bread say? Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even necessarily disagreeing. Like, I don't believe that Dysons are shit or anything like that, obviously, because if you watch my Ball Animal 3 review and my Total Clean review and all that, I actually do personally recommend Dysons, just with the caveat of be careful, because that lower hose is very prone to breaking. So be careful with it. Don't, I don't know, just don't abuse your machine. And that's it. Plus, I hate it kind of annoys me when people are deliberately dishonest about a brand because they're compromised and they have to dick ride their preferred brand, because then I feel like I have to compensate for that when I don't want to. I just want to be honest about it, and that's what I end up doing. Dyson is better by like 6 stacks. They at least sell parts, but they're still a bitch to fix. Oh yeah, I will say, whenever I replaced the lower hose on my DC65, it was a pain in the ass. I'll say that up front. It was annoying. It was irritating. But it would once I actually got in there and got everything apart, it wasn't as bad as it seemed. It looks more complicated than it really is, but it still is more complicated than it should be, if that makes sense. It's still not something I would want to do again, but I'm still glad that I actually went through the effort of fixing it and selling it on to somebody. I think I sold that one for $160, and I'm selling my 41 for the same price, a little bit more shipping. So if anyone wants to buy my DC41 freshly repaired with 2 brand new hoses on it, because it has both a new back hose and a new lower hose, and a new COV hose too, because that was replaced whenever I first got it. If anyone wants that, go buy it. Hey, Chance Escape. Hello. It's like in the 90s. But yeah, the newer Dysons are not that great. I tried fixing... Didn't some Dysons have a weird handle too? I know the DC-17, the DC-18, and some versions of the DC-14 and 15 had like backward facing handles, and those were awful. They were awful. It's part of the reason why I got rid of my DC-17. Because a lot of people say the DC-17 is the best Dyson, and honestly, the newer Dysons are better than it. Honestly. They clean better, they're lighter weight, and yeah, they're just, at least in my opinion, they're better. A lot of people believe that the 17 is better than the Animal 2 and 3, and I personally disagree with that. Just because the 17, even though the bristles that it has clean very well, there's still not as many bristles as there should be. Although, it is worth the caveat that my 17 had a replacement brush roller in it, so it's possible that brush roller didn't do as well than a genuine. But of course you can't get genuine. Damn it! I just realized whenever I bought the V8, I was gonna ask about the clutches too, but I don't think there's... Because I think Dyson just discontinued the clutches, but I could be wrong about that. They're probably all out already. Because all my old Dysons still need clutches. And then again, you know, a lot of people have said that rebuilding the clutch is actually not too bad, so I might just buy the belts and rebuild the clutches I have. Although I think one or two of them are actually bad and need new clutches, versus just needing new belts in the clutches. Everyone's talking about iPhones now. Let's see, what iPhone should I get? If you're talking about all the new ones, I would honestly say, don't get, I don't know. Don't get the 14. If you're gonna get the normal 14 and not the Pro, just get last year's 13 Pro Max instead. Because I mean, it's the current 14 and 14 Plus are just really bad deals. You want to know what's weird? I just found a DC-17 and it's somehow was never registered, and I got on a full 5-year warranty, and the brush roll is completely shot on it. So should I replace it myself? It's not too complicated to replace brush rollers in the 17s. The main thing is that the belt is not a stretch belt, so trying to get the brush roll around the belt is a little complicated. But the iPhone 14 is new and cool. Hey, I mean, if you have the money and you want to get the 14, then get it. You know, it's up to you. I don't know your budget, so I can't recommend an iPhone to you. When's the next Vacuum Save getting released? Probably this Friday. Probably. Oh. Thank you, Inteltech Studios, for the Vacuum Save videos. Glad you enjoy them. I have notifications on, so I will know when. Yes. I don't know if it's the brush roll or the brush roll motor, but it's making an obnoxious screeching sound, and I can't have the brush on for too long. Ouch. Also, I'll also mention that the reason why I've been using... You have a bit of food on your can. That's not... Are you talking about that little red thing? I don't know what that is. I think it's a reflection of something off. This, like... I don't know how to point at it, but, like, this dot right here that my finger is currently touching. I don't know what this is. I don't know why it's there. Do you own any DC-07s and DC-14s? I know newer Dysons are better, but those are so nostalgic for me as I grew up with them. Yes, I do, actually. I own quite a few of both. I own 3 DC-07s and 4 DC-14s. So for the 07s, I own 2 low reaches and a pink. And then for the 14s, I own 2 all floors, 1 animal, and 1 low reach. So I still want to get the DC-07 carpet, which is the only Dyson in the US that had a belt instead of a clutch. So I want to get one of those. I know a collector that has one, and and he wants like one of my Bissels, so I'm trying to get him to trade it for it. But he's not really responding to my messages too much. But yeah, he also has a 25 blueprint. That's what it is. So I want to get one of the blueprint ones, but I want the carpet more. I love my new Samsung Z Flip 4 Bespoke Edition, best phone ever. Ah, nice. So I have the Galaxy Note 9 still, and this is, well, Androids are for poor people. Hey, you've got a point. I'm very poor and I have an Android, but I also have iPhones. So, and besides, it's kind of hard to make the argument that Androids are for poor people when there are plenty of Android phones out there, like the Z Flip and like the Z Fold, especially the Z Fold, that are more expensive than iPhones. Because there are Android phones that are way more expensive than some iPhones. There are iPhones that are as cheap as $400. And there are Android phones as cheap as $100. But there's also Android phones as expensive as $2,000. So it all just depends. It doesn't depend on, whether or not you have an Android phone or an iPhone. It's a matter of how expensive is your phone and how much did you actually pay for it. Because if you paid $1,000 for your phone, then yeah. Bro, why would you pay $1,000 for an Android that is overpriced? I could just get an iPhone. Does your iPhone have a built-in stylus? Does your iPhone have a folding screen that gives you more screen real estate in the same package? No. So, yes, there are some phones where they're arguably overpriced, but it really just depends on what features you want in a phone. Oh yeah, headphone jack, although that's why I'm still rocking my Note 9. You don't need a stylus or those features. Well, you don't, but I do. Does your Android have iMessage or AirDrop? No, because I would never use those features. I've had iPhones before, and I never used AirDrop. I never used iMessage. Just like how you never used the S Pen or the headphone jack. Yeah, my phone has a very similar feature to it. It's called Nearby Share. And I think there's even a newer version on newer phones that are even more similar to AirDrop. That's how I feel about vacuums. If it works, why get rid of it unless it's in really bad condition? Yeah, whatever works for you, man. Me either when I had my iPhone 6. Yeah. Oh, the iPhone 6 is terrible. It's such a shitty phone. To think that people paid $1,000 for an iPhone 6. Well, more so a 6 Plus, but especially the 6 Plus. That phone is a piece of shit. You can't breathe on those things without them breaking. For the record, I also like my phone because if something breaks on my phone, I can actually replace it without the company breaking my phone, which is really nice. So that's one of the main reasons why I personally don't support Apple. Because I do not support the idea that the camera can break in my phone and I repair it, and even when I put a good part in it, Apple just refuses to let my phone use it, which is ridiculous. I just found a Bissell Power Force bagless with the headlight and a Clean B2 style brush housing. Would you like to link and check it out? I don't really care. There are these things called AirPods, and everyone in my school has them, and also Nearby Share is useless because they don't have an Android, which is rare, or they do and they don't know about it. Well, see, that's a good point. If everyone around you has iPhones and you want to constantly be, sharing stuff between your friends and sending messages and all that and airdropping stuff, then yeah, in your case, it may be beneficial to get an iPhone. For me personally, I don't use those features, So even though my fiance has an iPhone, I never use any of those features, so it's not a benefit to me personally. It doesn't hurt to have them, but you know. I love Samsung's trade-in program. I got my over $1,000 Z Flip for $140. I love the S9 series. Yeah, I would love to do that. I want to get an S22 Ultra since that's obviously what replaced my Note, but they're only offering me like $100 for the trade-in, and I'm not paying $1,000 for a phone for any reason. But I'm buying my fiance some stuff for Christmas, and he's gonna get me a Note 20 Ultra, so the last Note, and the one right before the S22 Ultra. And plus the main reason why I'm going the Note 20 is because the S22 Ultra got rid of MST. So the biggest benefit to Samsung Pay was MST, so it would work on even non-NFC card readers by mimicking a swipe card. But they removed that on the S22 Ultra, which is really ridiculous. So I can't upgrade to anything beyond the Note 20 Ultra, or I lose like good Samsung Pay. And of course, for the Note 20 Ultra, I lose the headphone jack. But I do have an adapter, the one for my Pixel actually, which will work. Here to visit stream. Make sure you have showered since the last stream. Yes, I have. Not sure why you're so invested in my hygiene, but yes, I have showered. I showered yesterday. Which some people will think that's gross, but if you actually talk to your doctor, you're actually supposed to, for most people at least, you're supposed to shower every other day. But because it can like damage your hair and stuff if you're actually doing it every single day. But Plus, I don't sweat a whole lot, so it doesn't really, I don't stink or anything, so I usually shower every other day. Although I will admit, I am kind of self-conscious, so if I'm like going out in public and doing a lot of things, even if I did shower the previous day, sometimes I still will, again, just to make sure, because I'm weird like that. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. But yeah, so I feel like the only good sharks are the OG liftaways. That's true, but I went back and I used my liftaway, and I hate it so much. Like, every time I was using the hose on it, it would just fall over. Just every time, it just fall over. It just fall over, because it's very top heavy. And which that is something that the Stratos has sort of fixed, except on the Stratos, the hose is a lot stiffer, so that makes up the difference, so it still falls over a lot. And it's just I don't know what they're doing, man. Like, and they recently released a Vertex and a Stratos Speed, so they have lighter weight versions, which is nice, and I do plan on checking those out at some point, but we'll see. Also, their iOS 16 update with customizable lock screens. A lot of my classmates are obsessing with it. Oh, wow. So you just now got customizable lock screens? My lock screen has been customizable since 2011. Since the phones first came out. Well, actually, now that I think about it, that may be a little bit misleading, because I would say at least since 2016, though, because that's when Samsung introduced Good Lock, and then you could actually like move the time, move the date, and all that stuff. Good Lock on the newer phones is really cool. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. Although I never bothered to reinstall it back on my Note 9, but I will when I get my Note 20 Ultra. I lost track of how many vacuum cleaner models. Now we're back to Chance hating sharks. It's not that I hate them, it's just I strongly dislike them. They're not for me, but a lot of people like them, so hey, good for them. Someone was actually supposed to buy that lift away, and I cleaned it up for them, and then they stopped responding to my messages when I was like, hey, when do you want to meet for it? And then yesterday they messaged me out of, finally messaged me back because I said, hey, do you want to meet today since we couldn't meet tomorrow? And they said, oh, I just went out and bought a new one. I fucking hate it when people do that because, like, because I'll ask. I'll be like, hey, are you still interested in this? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, okay, so when you want to meet for it? Oh, I bought a new one. Then why did you lie to me and tell me that you're still interested in the vacuum when you're not? What is my hair doing? I'm like, why would you, like, I literally was giving you this brand new Shark that I used twice, and I cleaned back up, so it looks brand new again. I'm giving it to you for $65, which normally the lowest I'd go, and it's never people that, like, want to buy it. It's always people that will lowball me on it, and then still not show up and buy it, and they'll still go buy a new one. I'm like, why did you spend more than double the price of what I was wanting for this to get the same vacuum with like 1 hour less usage on it? That makes no sense. For the price that you paid for that Shark, you could have bought both of mine. I don't understand that. But you can't ask, you can't be like, why did you buy a new one instead of mine? Because that's rude. I don't know why it's rude, it just is. You're just not supposed to. Fucking hate autism, man. I'm like, was I supposed to know that they don't want it? Even though I specifically asked, are you still, like, here, I'll just read the messages. Because initially, this person was wanting to pick it up, but I didn't have a vehicle. And she's like, oh, can I come and pick it up? And I'm like, I don't give out my address to people that I don't know. I said, but when my fiance gets off work, we can meet for it. And she's like, okay, great. And of course she's bugging me. She's like, I need it right now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't meet people at my house. I was like, I hope you can understand that. And instead of paraphrasing, I'll actually read this. Good morning, is this still available? Would you take $50 by chance? I have it listed for $100. I said, yes, it's available. The lowest I could take is $75. And then she says, can you please do $65? That's every dime I have. My neighbor is loaning me the $15. I will need to pick it up in the next hour. Please, can I pick it up? I said, I don't have any other way to meet right now, but I can meet after 4. She said, if you were home, I can pick up from your home. I just have a job to do and I need a vacuum because mine broke. And I asked, what's wrong with your current vac? She's like, I'm not sure. It quit sucking up and everything. I'm taking it apart. It's not clogged or anything. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't meet sooner than 4 unless my fiance gets off work early since we only have one vehicle. But if it helps, I can look at your old vac and possibly fix it as well so you have a backup. She said, lol, I wish I had known that because I sat it on the curb last night and somebody took it. And I said, yeah, I fix vacuums, but not a problem. If this one breaks, you can bring it back to me and I can fix it. This one I actually bought brand new 2 years ago, but after using it literally only once, I shoved it aside and never used it again. So it's like 98% new. So at least it should last a long time before needing fixed. Again, sorry for not being able to meet sooner. I'm just not comfortable giving my address out to people. I hope that's understandable. But the second I can meet, I'll message you. I hope that's okay. And then she said, okay, thank you. And then a couple hours later, I said, I'm available now if you want to meet for it. Does Walmart work? She read the message but didn't respond. Next day, are you still interested? A few hours later, yes, I want it still. So then I said, okay, are you available? Didn't respond. And then the next day, I actually went and bought a brand new one. I will keep this in mind as I will need another for my other employees. And I said, so do you want to meet today for it then? No, I bought a brand new one and can't afford this one now at the moment, but will most likely buy it if it's not sold at a later time. And I said, which new one did you get? And here's where I kind of fucked up. I said, would you be able to get it if I sold it for $50? And she showed me a picture of literally the exact same one. And I said, oh, hey, that's the same one, LOL. I thought they discontinued it. And she said, as soon as my other half gets home, I will ask him because I would really like to have it for $50. And then I forgot that I had just said, like, out of desperation, I'll give it to you for $50. So then I said, I thought we said $65 because that's what she previously said. And then I responded right after because I read and I was like, I mean, either way, I'll take it. I need the cash and I need to sell quite a few vacs to make space, so no big deal. I have other sharks as well, so if each of your employees need a shark, I have quite a few. And if that new one breaks down the road, I can fix it for you if you need. No response. Then yesterday, do you want to meet tomorrow? Because, before my fiance's work. Read the message, didn't respond. So I'll message her again, be like, do you want to meet tomorrow? And she's reading the messages, but she's not responding. Which it's like, I don't, I just don't get it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, first off, I do know that I screwed up by asking if she meant 65 instead of 50. That's my bad. Because I had forgot that I just offered it to her for 50, which is kind of ridiculous anyways, to be honest. It's like, I already lowered it from $10 less than what my original lowest price would be. And now you're saying, after I was expecting to have the cash in hand already, now you're saying, oh, I'll buy it, but I'll buy it for less. So you're going to pay me for me making you wait on the purchase, because that makes sense. Unless I'm doing something wrong that I'm somehow not aware of. And I'm not just picking on this person specifically, this happens all the time. All the time. Where I will ask, are you interested? Do you want it? And they'll say yes. And then they won't get it. And it's like, why did you... It's almost like they don't want to say no because they would feel bad for spending all this time messaging me, and I guess from what they would see it as, wasting my time, even though it's not a big deal. But they would see it that way, so they don't want to admit to themselves that they're backing out of something. Or maybe there's something that they're not comfortable with. Like, maybe she's not comfortable that it's actually been used. Or, I don't know. Like, maybe she thinks it doesn't work. I don't know. Like, she doesn't tell me any of this stuff. Like, she doesn't say, oh, I'm hesitant to get it over a new one because what if it doesn't work? To which I could say, here's a video showing it running, and I have a 30-day warranty on it, so if you have any problems with it, you can bring it back, and I'll give you another one. But it never gets that far. So, like, I never know what people... Like, I don't know what you're thinking. Like, are you thinking, oh, well, to me it's worth... Because I'm trying to understand this. If my brand new vacuum is too expensive at $65 to the point where you want it for 50, then why would you go to the store and spend $120 on a brand new one, where the only difference is the box? And hell, I even still have the box probably. So, like, and mine comes with extra attachments that the one brand new doesn't. So, like, but again, maybe she didn't know that. I mean, I did say in the listing that it comes with all attachments, but I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why this keeps happening. I keep getting my hopes up, thinking that I'm going to finally make a sale, and, I'll get rid of another vacuum, and I'll have some cash that I can put towards something else. And, I don't know. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. And look, I'll admit, $100 for this shark, which is what I had it listed for. I didn't know they still made these. I thought that the cheapest navigators that you could get right now were $150. So, or like $170 usually is what they are. They're never $150. They're always like $170. Because, so that's why I had it listed for that much, which is also why I was willing to go down on it. So, because I thought, okay, she's offering me $65. That's a little less than I wanted, but, these are probably going to go on sale soon, so that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. So, I don't know why you would say, this is every penny I have, which, again, is weird because if that... I just thought of this just now. I didn't even realize this until I was just now thinking about it. If 65 was every penny that she had, then how did she have enough to buy a brand new one the same day? I just thought about that. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, if that truly was every penny you had, even if it was just every penny you had, as in every penny that you had to put towards a vacuum, because I get it, you know, if you have more money, but you're like, oh, this is for the electric bill or something, obviously that's more important than buying a vacuum. But if it's every penny you have, at least at a minimum, implying that that applies to every penny that you have allocated to be able to go towards purchasing a vacuum cleaner, even if it's for your business, then how do you have enough to buy this shark for, I just looked on the website, it's $114 right now. And if the issue wasn't having enough money, but she felt like it was too expensive for what it was, considering it technically at that point was used, then talk me down the price a little bit more. She could have just said, hey, I know we said 65 already, but can you do 50 on it? And you know what? I would have done it, because I'm fucking desperate enough to get rid of these. I would have done it for 50. Less than half of what it is brand new, and even though it's only been used twice. One for the I cleaned the upstairs with it once, and I cleaned the living room and the bedroom with it once, and that was it. And then I washed out the bin, pulled all the hair out of the brush roller, wiped out the inside of the brush roller, and everything, so it looks physically brand new again. And since it's had so little usage, it didn't need a lot of cleaning. So if you're worried about that, if you're worried that little bit of dust could cause a problem with it, then just tell me. Like, I don't know how to tell, like, potential customers, like, hey, ask it. Even though I say, if you have any questions, please ask. I say that in all my listing descriptions. At least I think I did. Maybe I forgot on this one. Let me actually click on it. Let me actually click on it. Okay, fair enough. I didn't say if you have any questions, please ask. I forgot to put that on this listing. There we go. So, that's my bad. Because I always try to put that in all my listings. If you have any questions of any kind, feel free to ask. Because I want people to make sure that they're getting something that they're happy with. I'm not just interested in getting the sale just to get the money. But at the same time, because this is how I build repeat customers. Even though I don't have a shop, I don't have any way to sell via shop because I don't make enough money on YouTube yet to subsidize being able to run a shop. Although that is the goal, and thank you to everyone who's gotten me ever so closer to that goal. It's just one of those things where, you know, I'm trying to make it a good experience for everybody involved, because I know how sketchy it can be to buy off someone on Facebook Marketplace. It can be kind of sketch. It can be kind of creepy. So I get it. I get that you may be antsy, you know, there's bad people out there, you might be worried about getting scammed, you know. Let's be honest, I'm a man, so statistically I'm more likely to scam somebody, because I don't think I've ever in my life been scammed by someone where I met up with a woman. That's probably sexist, but I don't know. But I guess would it be sexist if it's a positive and it's against my own I don't know, either way. So I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't want to buy used vacuum from Creepy Beard Man. I don't know. I can't even begin to know. But hey, I'm kind of rambling now, but it's just I don't know. It's like I'm just trying to, you know, help people. And you know, and don't worry, I will tell a good story related to selling sharks after this. So we're gonna end this on a positive note. So, oh wow, I just missed a ton of chats. Which is the worst Hoover? I don't know. I think Rick's more qualified to answer that question. He'd probably say the Z. Worst Hoover that I've used? Probably the foldaway. What a mess that is. Oh, vacuum scrubber cleaner. I might go for a 1977 Toyota Camry XLE or a 2000 2002 and 2003 Toyota Tundra. I I would recommend the Camry personally. You cannot go wrong with a Toyota. You cannot go wrong with a Toyota. My daily driver, I say daily driver like I have more than one. I have one car. It's my first car. It's my only car. It's my current car. And some asshole in the parking lot backed into me and broke my fucking side view mirror and put a dent in my wheel well. And of course they ran away. I happened to be parked in the spot where there's no cameras. So, but the good news is that obviously the dent in the wheel well is not the biggest deal in the world because it's very minor, but the side view mirror, it's not even like broken the way you'd expect. There's like a chunk missing out of it. Like when you're looking at the front of the car and you see the silver part, so the outside front of the side view mirror, there's like a piece like cracked off, almost like someone hit it with a golf club, which is really weird. I don't know if like they brushed by it and like the impact squished it and that caused it to crack. I don't know. The good news is that the glass is fine and the motor is fine. It still adjusts fine. So it's only the housing, and the housing, my fiance told me it's only like $25. I haven't actually looked myself, but he says he's going to replace it since he was driving it when it happened. So thankfully it was only $25 worth of damage. So even if the other person, we exchanged insurance and all that, or if the person was there, to be fair, I would have just been like, it's only this much. It's not worth dealing with insurance. I'll just pay for it myself. But I could have been like, hey man, can you give me $20 to fix this? And I'm sure they would have just done it. I mean, because you have to be a pretty decent stickler to be a stickler over $20 worth of damage that you caused. But hey, people are weird. So thankfully it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. It just happened on a day where my TV had just broke, my YouTube check like was taking way too long to hit for some reason, so I was paranoid that I wasn't gonna have like rent money or anything. So I was in a bad shape. I was just freaking out yesterday or on Friday. So it was just not a good day. But hey, it happens. Wow, I missed a lot of comments. She doesn't think any of that sounds like she was full of BS excuse to get you to lower the price. Don't see. I don't at this. Even though that may be true, I'm not the kind of person to just instantly believe that everyone is malicious. I'm not that cynical, at least not yet. I can only imagine that she was probably she obviously had more money to spend because she was able to buy the new vacuum. I'm not delusional about that. Unless she like borrowed it from her husband or something, which is possible. But even if that was the case where she bought it, maybe she thought she had less money to allocate. It's like what I was saying earlier. Maybe she had to pay a bill and she had less money to allocate, or she had more money to allocate to a vacuum than she thought she had. And she thought, well, I have this much to spend. I'll just go buy a new one. Fuck this guy. I'll just go buy a new one because that's easier since he doesn't want me to come to his house. Which, look, I get it. She said she needed one right then and there. It's just weird to me because the next day she said, I'm interested. And I said, when can we meet for it? So the way that went down makes it sound like to me that she bought the new vacuum after reading the message that, of me asking when can we meet for it. And I was wanting to meet at Walmart anyways. So maybe she read the message when I asked, can we meet at Walmart right now? And she probably thought, oh yes, but then she just didn't tell me, and then she went to Walmart, and then I guess they had one there, which last I checked they didn't, but maybe they have one of those sharks there and she just bought it. I don't know. Like, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to demonize any of my customers because look, that happens. Sometimes you're just more comfortable buying a new one. I understand that. I personally, I understand that. But just be honest with me. Just be like, hey, I've decided that I'm more comfortable buying a brand new one. I'm going to go ahead and go that route instead. And there are some people that have done that in the past. They've been like, I'm just going to go buy a new one. But then, I admittedly do get frustrated, but I don't take it out on them. I get personally frustrated, but I just say, well, you know, I don't even say that's unfortunate. I just say, well, thank you for looking anyways. If you ever need any help with that vacuum in the future, or you change your mind, then feel free to let me know. That's what I always say. But, you know, I don't know. But to be fair, I would much rather have someone back out of a sale than not show up. Back whenever I sold phones and electronics, people would ghost me all the time, where I would waste sometimes it'd be the last bit of gas money that I had to go somewhere, and it would always be Walmart because they have a gas station, and then they wouldn't show up, and then I had to like phone up a friend for like gas money to get home. I've had that happen before, and it was very frustrating. So yeah, but this was years ago. This wasn't like, this is before like I was actually monetized on YouTube and all that stuff. So actually, maybe it wasn't. I don't remember either way, but I'm saying that has happened before. You didn't, John. You did nothing wrong. People are weird, crazy, and often don't have respect for others in situations like that, and they're cheap and scammers and trying to get everything they can for as little as possible. See, I get what you're saying. I still don't necessarily want to be of the mindset that every person is a scammer, because that's just not true. Because lowballing someone and scamming someone is not the same thing. In the case of the Xbox One X that I bought, where the person never shipped it, that was a scam. Because the person set up a bid, I won the auction, and they had no intention of ever shipping the item or responding. They had no interest in being a seller, despite them going through the effort of listing the item. Probably, given that they were a brand new eBay user, they were probably hoping that they could just get someone to buy it, run off with the money, and then just never deliver it and think there'd be no consequences to it, because they probably didn't understand how eBay works. And I fully knew that risk going into it, but I decided to take the risk because I figured, hey, if they're legit, I get an Xbox One X for a good deal, and if they don't, I get my money back. So that's what I did. In that case, that person was a scammer, or maybe they just somehow forgot they ever listed it and never checked their eBay account again. I don't know. It seems kind of fishy to me because, again, they had to set up the bid and they knew when the bid was ending. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm not really let's see. Okay, wow, I missed a lot. Let's see. The foldaway was awful, yeah. Wow, okay, let's see. Perfectly understandable. Noel's alternative, Dirt Double Power Express, handled backwards. Yeah, I see those all the time. I just sold a couch and got 25 offers. Most were scams. You really have to be careful out there. See, I've been looking for a couch. If only we actually lived close to each other, then I could just buy it and pick it up. But yeah, because I've actually been wanting to get another couch for my den. But yeah, At first, I thought you said $25. I was like, oh my god, I'd give you more than $25 for it. But 25 offers, yeah, most were scams. I've been getting a lot of scam offers on the camera that I'm selling right now. If you remember that camera I did that like one Dirt Devil video with where it looked like shit, I'm selling that camera finally. I kept forgetting to list it. There's some guy that's supposed to be picking it up on Sunday. And when I say picking up, like meeting for it, because I don't give people my address. But with a couch, that's a little bit more scary when you're worried about scams, because you're giving someone your actual address. So, at least usually. So, yeah, that's a little bit more, I'm just blanking on the word. Consequential? No, that's not it. A little bit more risky. I never bought off of eBay, yet I heard some sellers are a nightmare to deal with on eBay. Yeah. There was one dude where I bought a Note 9 from a while ago, and I got it. When I got it, the back was cracked, and it was the wrong carrier. So, and I was trying to like troubleshoot it and see if it was actually unlocked, because with Samsung Note 9s, with actual unlocked ones, if they're unlocked and they're branded to a different carrier than what you have, you can put your SIM card in and it'll switch it to that carrier's firmware. So I was trying to do that, and in the process, I fucked up and I forgot to put the SIM card tray back in the phone. Whenever I sent it back, the seller basically accused me of scamming because I kept the SIM card tray, which costs a fucking $1. But, you know, they were like, "Oh, you're scamming me. You kept the SIM card tray." And I was like, I didn't mean to do that. And so I went to message them back. I was like, I didn't mean to do that, but give me your address again, and I'll go ahead and send it back. I'll send it in an envelope. But I couldn't send the message because they blocked me. And the annoying thing is that a seller can block you on eBay, but you still can't hide their posts. So this seller, every time I look for an old phone, for like my phone collection, they always have one, and at a really good price too. But I can't buy it. But it'll gladly show me all their listings, but when I add it to cart, it'll say, "Error, you can't do this." And I'm like, why are you showing me your listings when I can't purchase any of these? And of course my fiance is like, "Oh, just buy it on my account." And I'm like, well, like, it's annoying because when I'm looking for something, I have to scroll past all these listings because it's a big seller. I have to scroll past all these listings and, you know, just to get to ones that I can actually physically buy. It's really annoying. And there's no way to block it. There's supposedly a way to block it, but it doesn't work. There's supposed to be a box where you can, like, exclude a seller from showing up, but it doesn't exist. It's not there. So it's really infuriating. It actually, like, caused me to just not buy any more phones. And I have plenty of phones right now to review anyway, so it was just really frustrating. I'm like, look, I get it. I fucked up. I didn't put the SIM card tray back in. But, like, you could have just been like, "Hey, you forgot this. Can you give it back to me?" Instead of just assuming, this is kind of the point that I'm getting at. Instead of assuming that I'm a scammer and that I'm trying to steal your shit, maybe just be like, "Hey, you forgot this. Can I get that back?" And then I would have been like, "Oh, sorry, my bad. It's on its way." And then I would have shipped it to him and paid for the shipping because that would be the right thing to do. But I never got to that point. So it's like, this is part of the reason why I don't like the assumption that everyone is a scammer. And besides, even if you thought, "Oh, I'm a piece of shit for not giving back the SIM card tray," like, you're the one who sold me the bad item to begin with. And that doesn't change. Like, I still had to go through all this effort. This wouldn't have happened if I got the actual item that I paid for in the first place, and one that wasn't the wrong thing and defective. So that doesn't excuse it, but that at least says, like, hey, I wouldn't have returned it if it was the right thing to begin with. But at the same time, I wanted to give that thing back, but I don't have their information. I can't get it anywhere. I can't buy another thing. So, you know, it's not like I can buy something and then if that breaks, put the tray in with that and send it back, because I can't buy anything now. So I don't know what to do. So I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm keeping this then, because I have no way of giving. I literally have no way of giving it back to you, even though I have no use for it. I almost want to buy something through my fiance's account and return it and have that SIM card tray in with a little note tied to it, be like, "Remember this?" But he'd probably report it to eBay and then get his account banned too, which is annoying. And it wouldn't matter because I'm sure he bought a new tray and sold it on to somebody else. But yeah. Everyone's bitching about Bissell's now. Jesus. I most definitely go for 1997 Toyota Camry. Because my childhood, because my grandma had one for lots of time. Yeah, definitely go with the Toyota. Bissell Cleanview Reline. Lol, it was $250. Oh, okay. That's a lot more reasonable for a couch. Yeah. Not to be a snob, yet I know Hoover's had their ups and downs, yet I still like Hoover. Jesus, just bumped my shitty desk. I am going to sell this desk soon because I have my actual desk now. I just need to set it up with my good computer instead of this piece of shit. But I have a bunch of stuff in my den right now, and it's in the way, so I can't get to it to hook it up right now. Ugh. I used to like Eureka until they changed. 5 times 3 equals 15. That's true. I also like Oryx. There are many used Oryx around nowadays. Yeah. I want to get the new Oryx Discover. I'll probably I've been reaching out to a lot of companies to try to get review samples, and none of the bigger companies have actually responded to me, only the shitty ones. Actually, no, Tinico didn't respond to me either. I'll probably have to email them again. Or did I even send an email to them? I don't even remember, honestly. I could be wrong about that. But I know I tried to review the new Eureka Innova. They didn't respond. I tried to ask Bissell to review the Surface Sense, and they just said, oh, well, you can buy it here. Which is like, okay. And, of course, before the Ball Animal 3 came out, I wrote to Dyson. They didn't respond. Kind of expected that. And the, what else? I think... Is that all the companies? Oh yeah, I also reached out to Sibo asking to review the Felix. Of course, no response. Even though I've heard other YouTubers reaching out to Sibo and getting review samples. Parwaz got a Felix, but he's also in the UK, so maybe it's a difference in policy. So, who knows? Eureka's dead at this point. It's just a name now. Yeah, and the Innova's really ugly anyways, so even though I was going to review it, I didn't plan on liking it. I probably wasn't going to like it at all. It's not a name if you still have an old one. Yeah. I have an Orc XL in yellow. Nice. I have a white one, a black one, a red one, and a... I have 2 red ones, a white one, and a black one. And a gray one. And another red one, actually. It's 12:02 a.m. It's 11:03 p.m. for me. Message on here. Oh, that's not Marketplace, that's Discord. It's not an actual message, it's just people on Discord. Hmm. Do. Hello, Tracy. Hi. Which one do you prefer, the Bissell Power Force Helix 2191 or the Dirt Devil and Duramax? Bissell every day. Have you reached out to Shark yet for review units? Yes, I have. I reached out to them before once the Stratos came out, and they didn't respond either. They wanted me to do a sponsored video in response to it. They're like, you can apply here to do a sponsorship, and I was like, I don't want a sponsorship. I just want the vacuum to review. I don't want to be paid, I just want the vacuum. It's weird how they won't give me the vacuum unless they also give me money. Which is kind of sketchy, but whatever. Because if they're eager to pay people to say things about Shark, you would think they'd be okay with paying nothing and just providing a Shark for someone to review. But I don't know, maybe they watched my older videos and was like, nope, fuck this guy. We're not going to respond to him. Or realistically, that's not the case because I'm not big enough to actually matter that much. So they probably were just like, we don't care. We don't know this guy. My guitar is badly out of tune. It sounds like shit. It sounds like shit. It sounds like shit. It sounds like shit. Got a Roadster that's going to get the Sawzall and multi-tool treatment tomorrow. Why isn't the Roadster like a rare Shark? Isn't that like a much older one? I think Shark has been around since the late 90s, early 2000s. They have gone under many names. Yeah, that's true. They probably want you to be on the infomercial. Ha! I would love to be on the infomercial. This vacuum is such a great piece of shit. This is the best piece of shit I've ever used. Look, here. Shark. I don't know why I have this right here, but here. Oh my god, I love my Stratos. It's the best piece of shit that I've ever wasted my money on. It's great. It's blue. It has a soft roller. It's heavy. And it sounds like a fucking siren. Go buy one. Is everything going to break around here today? It seems that that's going to be the case. The Shark Roadster was a canister and it was known to overheat. Doesn't surprise me. I'm gonna clip that, lol. Feel free. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. I referenced Angry Grandpa. Oh, I remember that. I remember that video now. When that Hoover broke and he threw it outside. Damn, is the Stratos really that bad? Look, here's the thing. The Stratos, it would be good were it not for the fact that it's way louder than it's supposed to be for some reason. Even though the Apex was nice and quiet, the Stratos is over 90 decibels. It's incredibly loud. It's, in fact, too loud to the point where it's actually dangerous because it can damage your hearing after a relatively short period of usage. I always make sure to wear earplugs when I'm using it. And for the record, earplugs don't make it any better because it's such a high-pitched, shrill shriek that even earbuds don't actually help it. So the good news is, like every Duo Clean, it cleans great on bare floors. It does very well on bare floors, in fact. But the same reason why it does so good on bare floors is the same reason why it does so bad on carpets. Because the power fins system does not agitate carpet. It almost feels like it does, but that's only because of the shape of the power fins. It does not actually agitate very well, and as a result, it just like it doesn't clean as well as the basic $100 Shark liftaway, which or 150, however much it is right now. It's probably going to be 100 soon on Black Friday, but the basic Navigator liftaway from 12 years ago still cleans better than the Stratos, which is unacceptable. Why would you want the cheaper machine to clean better than your $500 most expensive vacuum? Also, one other thing that I always mention is that I specifically got the SKU that comes with all the extra attachments, and I didn't get any of them. They just didn't give them to me, which is really weird, even though I specifically chose the SKU that comes with more attachments. It also came with a steam mop, but I don't blame them for not giving me the steam mop because the vacuum was a replacement vacuum for my 0M that killed itself and shocked me in the process, and just completely died. That machine I had to send back and get it exchanged, and they didn't have one, so they gave me this because they initially tried to give me a shittier machine than the one I had, and I said, no, I don't want something worse than what I already paid for. I would like something better. And they said, okay, go on the website and pick one out. I picked the most expensive one. So I didn't expect to get the steam mop, but they specifically told me, whichever vacuum you pick, you will get all the accessories that it comes with. That was a lie, because my Stratos did not come with all the attachments it was supposed to come with from the listing. It didn't come with any of them. It only came with the ones that were in the box, which doesn't even include a dusting brush. For some reason, there's no way you can dust with this machine out of the box, which is kind of weird. You have to buy the dusting brush separately, even if, unless of course you get the version that comes with all the accessories, which is what I got. And the model number is the one, because they have separate model numbers for the different SKUs, the different attachments. Mine is the model number that's supposed to come with the attachments, but the box is the box from the one that doesn't come with the attachments, even though it was brand new, which makes no sense. I don't care about the attachments not coming with it is not a big deal to me, because I still have a more expensive machine than what I had previously. But why would they tell me? Why would you go out of your way to tell me that I'm getting all the attachments and then not give them to me? If you're not going to give me the attachments, don't tell me that you're giving me the attachments. It makes no sense. So I'm going to have to call them back at some point and try to figure that out. So I don't know what the deal is. So, yeah. So that's another reason why I haven't been using it all that much, because the hose is really awkward to use on it. The handle is way too heavy. People complain oh, the newer Dysons don't have a handle when you're using the hose. I actually like that, because I'm used to Phantoms, where on Phantoms you just hold the hose cuff, so I'm perfectly used to just holding the hose cuff, and that's not really a big deal to me. But I know some people don't like that. But again, it's the reason why I like the newer Dysons, because I actually prefer that design. It's the wands on the newer Dysons are much closer to how they worked on Phantoms, where you just pull it up, it locks into place, and you just go. You don't have to flip it around or pull something through the handle or any of that. So I actually prefer that. But yeah, so the Stratos, the Cliff Notes version, I already reviewed the Stratos, but I might redo the review. My V11 review did really poorly, probably because it's an hour fucking long, and nobody wants to watch that long of a video, so I'll probably do an updated video on the V11 before I sell it. But I'll probably do the same thing on the Stratos, do an updated Cliff Notes review. Dyson hand dryer, I do want one of those. I will install one of those in my bathroom at some point, but that's down the road, as those are very expensive, and I don't have... And on the side of my bathroom that I want to install it, there's no power going to it right now. Plus, I need to actually, renovate my bathroom first and, fix it, because the walls are, fucked up in my bathroom. I mean, how else are you going to get a 3-bedroom house for $700 a month? Bathroom is shit. But hey, not a problem. That's something that can always be fixed down the road. I'm hoping someday we get a Henry Quick or a pneumatic quick here in America. That'd be cool. I've got a Henry Extra. Best thing for drywall ever. Nice. Man, I'd love to be in a commercial for the heavy-duty Ford trucks. Everyone else acting normal with their fucking crew cab, short box, diesel junk. Meanwhile, me with my 4x4 XL truck driving like a maniac. Yeah. Sharks are only good for being a doorstopper or a flower pot. Look, you know, low chance I hollered at the shark bit. Yeah. I live in the middle of the road and it runs. Oh, I'd leave in the middle of the road and run it over in an F-250 going 120. Yeah. I want to get the big Chungus WVD 900, but they're huge and like $1,300. I just read that. Yeah. Yeah, so like I reviewed the Stratos already, but the biggest thing about it is that while it cleans very well on bare floors, it cleans really badly on carpets. It's way too loud and it's way too bulky. Even though the bulkiness is improved from the Apex, that's offset by how loud it is and how much louder it is in the Apex. So it's actually in some ways a worse vacuum than the older Apex, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm not sure why that is. Actually, I know why that is, because Shark puts really shitty motors in their vacuums, and this particular one is really loud. There's no proper sound dampening in this machine, and that's not good. And that's unacceptable for a machine that's $500. So overall, it's just not worth the money. If this thing was quieter, a little bit lighter weight, and it was, a couple $100 cheaper, if it was like maybe $200, and if it was quieter, and maybe even a little bit lighter weight, this would be like a really solid vacuum for somebody whose house has all hard floors and just a few small thin pile area rugs. And as is, that's the best use case for it. But yeah, motor smell, lead paint smell. That's the other thing. Every Shark that I've ever got smells awful when I first get it. It smells bad. It smells like rotten plastic. It's hard to even describe. I don't know why they smell so bad. Have you ever seen the bagless Oryx? I have not. Is the Helix Turbo better than the Bag Power Force? No. Compare the OG Sharks to the new Sharks with noise level. There's a video idea. I may do that. Might do the same with Dysons too. Might as well, right? Who doesn't put sound deadening in a $500 vacuum? Not cool. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I will say the Stratos, while I was talking about the bad smell coming from the liftaway, the Stratos actually didn't have that problem for very long. The cartridge that it comes with, the odor reducing cartridge, actually does work. But it's kind of sad that instead of... I send you a picture on Facebook Messenger. Oh God. Why do you have my Facebook? Anyways, the... Oh, that's Zach. Okay, I forgot you were Zach. I was like, what? Oh yeah, the Auric, yeah. But yeah, Zach, I was talking about this earlier. Do you want to trade the 07 carpet for that PowerTrack Revolution? I'll type it to you as well. The Auric Touch. Yeah, I do want one of those Auric Touches. Pretty interesting. Oh, did you see the reflection of it in my glasses? Yeah, I would love to get one of those Auric Touches. The next vacuum I buy is a commercial Hoover and it better last 15 years or more. Yeah, good luck with that. I need to take a water break. I've been talking way too much. I could hear that someone's air frying something. Hoping to get a vintage Electrolux canister vacuum. I love them. I'll probably sell my Electrolux because the only working Electrolux I have is a one from the 50s, so I'll probably sell it at some point. I would just use a Henry, but it's kind of shit on carpet. Well, I know you can get a turbo brush for it that makes it a little bit better. The newer vacuums can't last 2 years. It all depends on what it is. Any vacuum can last 2 years. I mean, that's nothing. Spring Bonnie. Hi, Chance. Hello. Any vacuum can last 2 years. A lot of vacuums can last 20 years if they're taken care of. Are you ever getting the UK Dysons like the UP34? Maybe you could get the UP24 cheaper now. I love my 24. I would, but I'm not really interested. If I'm going to get, I will eventually get UK Dysons, but I don't know if I'm going to bother getting one of the newer UK Dysons. I would start with a DCO3 and a DCO1. Maybe even a DCO4. Stuff like that. Like old stuff. But honestly, I would like to get one of the UK Dysons because I prefer the thinner bin design, like closer to like the multi-floor 2 versus, you know, that the smaller UK ones have. But I'm not really interested in getting a step-down transformer and dealing with all that shit. It just would be nice if Dyson just actually released them here and stopped playing with us. At least we finally got the anti-tangle head. But, you know, that's... So yeah, I'd like to get a few UK Dysons, both new and old. But if I am gonna get UK Dysons, I'm gonna start with the old. Do you still have the Sanitaire SO4110A? Yes, I do, in fact. It's still, whenever I want to use Abyssal, it's still the one that I use. Because I've sold most of my Abyssal bagless machines. I'm still selling the Power Groom bagless, and the PowerTrack Revolution. I'm trying to trade it with another collector for DCO7 carpet. And then the... I think the only other bagless Abyssal I have is the Rewind Smart Clean. Oh yeah, I still have the Rubbermaid Abyssal Clean View, which that I'll probably keep. So, yeah. I'm getting rid of all the excess Bissels because I don't need that many Bissels. I'm never going to use them anyways because the filtration is such shit on them. But yeah. I do still have the SL4110A and the Big Green as well. I still have that. All the bagged Abyssals I still have. Although I am selling the 3522-1 Power Force. So I am selling that one, but I'm keeping all my Power Glides. Did you get any attachments with that shop vac? No, I did not. That will be in the next vacuum save, because I don't think I've shown that off yet. What is that stupid red dot on the camera? I don't know what that is. And it moves with the camera, so it's clearly something reflecting off of something. What is... See, if I put my hand up there, the red dot goes away. What is that reflecting off of? Is that the light? I don't know what that stupid red dot is. The glides, yeah. What do you think of the new Auric Discover? Well, I did just mention that I'm trying to... Your lamp behind you? Is that what? Wrong hand, Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There we go. So if I just hold my hand up like this, then it'll not be there. I still don't know what that's reflecting off of, though. Oh, is that reflecting off of the webcam? Oh. Okay, well, just dropped my water. Thankfully the lid was on it. Okay. Sock attack. Yep. The more you know. It's hitting the lens. Yep. That's probably it. Yeah, what do you think of the new Orc Discover? I'm trying to get one. I just saw Alex's video on it. I'm going to message, or I'm gonna send an email to Oric after this, or just whenever I remember to, and I'm gonna ask them for a review sample. They probably won't give me one because they probably are only giving one to Alex because he's a dealer. But yeah, they probably wouldn't give me one. But I'll still ask. Worst they'll do is not reply. So because I would like to check out the new Discover because it looks like it actually fixed the biggest problem with the magnesium, which is the buttons dying and the handle as a result of the stupid ass batteries they put in them. But yeah, I'm sure just from me calling that stupid, they probably won't give me one now. But whatever. Hey, they fixed it, so credit where credit's due. It looks great. I would love to try it. Because I always have a soft spot for Oryx. Well, mainly my back has a soft spot for Oryx. Yeah. So I do want to check out the new Org. You still have the vacuums that sound like chainsaws. They're still sitting in the basement, I think, but they'll eventually get thrown away. How do you get vacuums to review? I have not successfully done it for any of the big companies. Probably because I'm not big enough for them to really justify sending a product over. But usually I'll get contacted by more no-name companies through my email, and then they'll offer to send me a machine.
I know you're streaming, but I don't think I greeted you when I got home, so greets.
Greets. Yeah, I knew you were here because I can hear you air frying something.
Yes.
All right.
Toaster scrambles.
Toaster scrambles. Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you throw 2 extras in there for me? I'll take that as a no. Well, I finally fixed my Concept 1 base plate clips issue now. It holds the base plate tightly. Nice. What ended up being the issue? Was it just not lined up correctly? Water, 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 water. Not sponsored. Water, water, water. I dropped it again. This phone does not work. Does not power on. Because the battery connector for the motherboard is completely shot. I just wasted all this time pulling apart this phone only to find out the battery has no way to connect to the motherboard. So I'm probably going to have to send this back, unfortunately, to Samsung. Finally fixed my Concept 1 base. Do you like TriStars? I've never owned one. Just saying Chance and his fiance are so cute. Aw, thank you. Life goals. Yes, for sure. Babe. Are you in there? Probably not. I had an Electrolux Genesis. If that was a beast, backdoor absolutely shattered though. They were bent out of shape. Ah, okay. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. What would you like to see improved on the PowerForce Helix? Well, on the normal Helix, first off, put an actually usable hose on it. And then make the pre-motor filter more or post-motor filter more accessible to be cleaned or replaced. And then, honestly, there's not much more. A longer cord, obviously, but of course that's addressed on the more expensive. Really, all my complaints. But the thing is, all my complaints about the Helix are addressed on the Helix Turbo. So, you just get the Helix Turbo. Like, there really isn't much that I can suggest other than longer cord, longer hose, better attachments, all the usual stuff. You know, longer crevice tools, stuff like that. That sort of stuff. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo, boop-a-doop-a-doo. That's my knee. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. YouTube is doing some jank shit. How many vacuums nowadays have metal in them or made out of metal? Not too many nowadays. Yeah, I would say there's not many. I mean, the motors are made of metal, but other than that, as far as the actual housing, what out there is still made of metal other than a Kirby? Obviously Kirby, but what else has metal? I mean, Zeebo doesn't, Mila doesn't, Dyson doesn't, Shark doesn't, Bissell doesn't, Hoover doesn't. Sanitaire does have some vacuums made out of metal, like the classic Sanitaires. The classic Sanitaire traditions are partially made out of metal, so there's that. And of course Kirby's, I think the Hoover Hush Tone commercial has metal on the base plate. Actually no, Zeebo, same story. The Zeebos do have metal on their base plates. Actually Mila does too, now that I think about it. And Ricard does as well. Okay, so there are some that have some metal on them. They're not made entirely out of metal. Everyone buys 2191s, and there are so many that end up in the trash. That's true. See, that is one thing I'll defend Shark on, is that so many people say, oh, Shark is junk because there's so many of them in the trash. There's so many of them in the trash because that's what people buy. People buy Sharks. People buy Power Force Helixes. So they're statistically more likely to end up in the trash. Nobody throws away a Zeebo or a Mila because nobody fucking owns one. I gotta go, and it's nice to talk to y'all, and hope y'all have enjoyed. What? I hope y'all enjoy your night. Yeah, you too. Have a good one, Marco. Last time I heard of something being bent, it was the frame on my neighbor's truck, LMAO. Fun fact, Dirt Devil originally was a Kmart brand. It was exclusive to Kmart. I did not know that. That's kind of cool. I found a brand new Inbox 4870 at a garage sale for $30. I regret not buying it. Isn't the Shark Rotator MB501 metal? Actually, I did forget about that. All the Shark's wands are metal. I did forget about that. The wands on the Sharks are metal. Even on the Stratos, even on the Vertex and the Apex, they're all metal. So there is some metal. So ironically, it seems like, yeah, so no metal on Dysons, at least not anymore. But I mean, that's not, I don't know. I'm not really one of those people that believes that just because something is made out of metal, that means that it's better quality. Because there is shitty metal, just like there is shitty plastic and good plastic. So, that being said, newer Dysons don't have metal in the wands anymore. So, which, even though I prefer the plastic wand, I feel like the spines on the Dysons flex way too much. I know they're designed to do that, but they honestly do flex way too much. And I do feel like that's a negative. When you're going to twist the ball, if you twist it too hard, the bin will pop off, or sometimes it'll even break the connector on the bin. Yeah, the DC-15 sole plate was metal as well. It was like a stainless steel of some kind. Yeah, I kind of wish I never got rid of my DC-15, because the person I sold it to was not happy with it. Because they were mad because at the time, the cord, this is like when I was like really stretching my pennies when I was fixing vacuums, the cord was taped, not because any of the wires or copper was showing. If it was, I would have replaced it. It was only the outer jacket that was a little bit torn. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't even see the insulation, let alone the actual wires. So I just put some electrical tape on it and called it a day. And the person who bought it was very upset about the fact there was tape on the cord, even though when we met for it, they looked at the back of the Dyson for like probably a minute before actually leaving. So I don't know how they didn't notice it. It was black tape on a light gray cord. Like that's fairly obvious. They also complained about the brush roller not turning, which I can only assume is because they told me that it was upright. I was like, did you recline the machine? They're like, no. And I'm like, well, you have to for the brush to turn on. They're like, that's bullshit. And I'm like, that's how it is. Like, have you never owned a Dyson before? I didn't say it like that, but it's like, that's a feature. How are you mad about a feature? When you press the pedal and recline the machine back, that's when the brush roller turns on. And you can shut it off with the button. but they're complaining that it doesn't spin when it's upright, because they said that they turned it on, noticed the brush wasn't spinning, and then turned it off and messaged me. They didn't even recline it, which it would have taken less time to recline it. To see, that is one area where I'm like, okay, I mean, I get it, you didn't know how it worked. So that's why I always tell people now, it's like, every time someone buys a Dyson, I say, or a Shark, I say, when it's standing up, the brush does not spin, because it's that way, so when you're using the tools, it doesn't damage your floors from just sitting there. When you pull it back, that's when the brush roller turns on. And if it doesn't, then you have it turned off, and you have to push the switch to the carpet mode to turn it back on. So, yeah. And then she used it for like a couple weeks, and then she split the hose on it, I think. I think that's the other thing she complained about. She split the hose on it, and she complained about it. And I said, well, I can get a new hose for you, and I can replace it just for the cost of the hose. And she's like, no, she's like, I just want my money back. And I'm like, I physically don't have the money anymore, otherwise I would. So, but what I can do is I can exchange it for another machine. And she's like, this is ridiculous, I need my money back. And I'm like, I understand you're frustrated, but at the time, I put the money in my gas tank. Like, I don't have the money anymore. I will have to get the money if you want. And she just kept getting upset with me. She even pulled her husband into the chat, so that way her husband could start yelling at me and saying, this is ridiculous, you need to give us our money back. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, give us our money back. And I'm like, how am I supposed to do that if I don't have the money? And they're like, figure it out. And I'm like, well, that's just great. So I couldn't even help them out if I wanted to. I was like, I don't even advertise cash refunds. I advertise replacements. I can replace the vacuum for you for one of an equal or greater value. And they said, we don't want that. We want a refund. And I'm like, okay. It was probably like the only time I had like a really bad experience selling a vacuum. Normally, the really bad experiences I had were only when I was selling cell phones. And honestly, had I known I was going to go through all that headache with the 15, I wouldn't have sold it. Because now I wish I had that back. I can only assume they got pissed and threw it away. So, yeah. And I only sold it for like $100. It was not a lot of money for a Dyson ball. So, but yeah, like, look, the hose thing I can understand. But again, the cord thing you saw when you bought the machine, and the brush roll thing, I explained to you how it works. I don't understand how you wouldn't like the idea of it being off. It turns on automatically when you recline the machine. But the hose thing, like I said, I offered to replace the hose for him, because I'm like, look, even though they probably broke the hose, it's possible that I missed it. It's possible that there was a hole in it. Who knows? Maybe there was a hole in it and I missed it, and it was dry rotted, because I probably forgot. I probably didn't think to check it. Maybe the hose actually was broke, but like, I tried to make it up to them. So, and this was a few years ago, because I sold the DC-15 right after I did the review of it. So this was a while ago, and it just annoys me. It's like I have, because it's usually only ever the people that have bad experiences that ever leave reviews. Like, very rarely does someone who has a good experience ever review it. So that's why my reviews on Marketplace have been 3.5 stars for literal years now. It does not matter how many good transactions I have in a row. It doesn't matter how many times I ask, hey, if you had a good experience, leave a review and, let people know. Does not matter. My Marketplace ratings have still not gone up, and I'm sure it's hurt my sales in some ways. But yeah, some of the worst experiences that I ever had was with phones. Like one girl who bought a Note 3. This was like 2 years ago. She bought a Note 3, and she wanted me to give her money back because it was slow, and she didn't like how slow it was. And she refused to actually set it up on her service, and she was mad that the service wasn't working. And I told her how she could fix it. And she said it was bullshit that she had to do that. Even though I told her when she bought it that you just have to put in the APN settings for Cricket and then it will work. If you need help with it, I can show you how to do it. But she kept just arguing with me over days. And I said, if you had taken, and I honestly, I said this because it was true. I said, if you had taken 10% of the effort that you've exerted into this conversation, your phone would be working right now, because I've been trying to help you get this working and you're refusing. There's only so much I can do. I can only help you if you're willing to help yourself. And of course she's like, well, you need to give my money back or else I'm going to go to the police. And I'm like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? I was like, I told her exactly how we could get it working. I said, you can meet me at the Cricket store and I will set it up for you. We literally just have to meet again and I will fix it for you. And your phone will be working. And she's like, but I still want a refund because it's slow. And I'm like, you bought a $100 phone. You bought a phone for $100. It's a phone that came out in 2013. It is 7 years old. It's gonna be slow. Common sense. What, like, that I can't really defend someone on, because that is bullshit. Because what makes you think that a $100 phone from 7 years ago is going to be as fast as a brand new $1,000 phone from Verizon? What makes you think that that's going to be the case? Honestly, like, it's going to be slow. It's an old phone. That's the sacrifice you make to get a phone for cheap. Oh, wow. Those are some cool Bissels. Those are actually both Bissels that I want, which is kind of cool. Bissell Plus and Bissell Pure Air. Nice. That's cool. But yeah, so I did just see your two Bissels. I would have bought the 15 if you still had it. Lol. I am selling one of my 14s. And I might sell one of my 07s as well, but I'm not quite sure yet. I probably will. Do you still have the power clean? Yes, I do. I do still have the power clean. It's like buried in the corner of my vacuum room, but I do still have it. I also still have the 3510-1 because that one's going to Arbach Lover whenever he gets the money for it. And David Org is 99. Wow, good for him. That's crazy. Pretty cool. Do 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 do. Boop 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 boop. I loved it when I was a kid. I think that's why I love orcs. Yeah, definitely. Where's Ruby? I don't know. Probably somewhere. Ruby. Ruby. Rivers. Oh, she walked away. Okay. You can probably hear her walking. But yeah. I just realized my grandpa is turning 80 this year. Wow. Pretty impressive. Oh.
Boot. Boots.
Okay. Yeah, I just have to take that tag off. She's screaming because I put the fan in the window in the living room because it's 80 degrees in there. Stop, you beautiful.
I can't get Rika because she's too heavy, but this is a boot. Hi, boot. Hi, potato. Okay, I think you want down. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't get her in fixed because she's still in heat, which is why she's screaming all the time. She keeps trying to get out. People are having a hard time getting their new C8 Z06s. Like, why sell something over MSRP? Question mark. Yeah. Dude. Apparently OBS just disconnected and reconnected, so it might blink out for a sec. But yeah.
I know I'm not as hot as a flame, but here before me, I've been flipping through all your modes.
Reinstated by 1994 with back pay.
Babe!
Thank you for all your support. It's meant a lot. And it's not something I
Oh my god, the Windows sound startled me. Oh, yeah. Okay. What was I doing?
I know I'm not as hot as a flame, but here before me, I've been flipping through all your moments and tearing out memories. How long can you carry this note? How long can we keep digging this hole until we come out on the other side? Crawling through mud, what's the difference when you come out on the other side? Falling from grace, what's the difference when you come out on the other side? The other side, the other side, where you come out alone. Trying to wash all of my sins clean. I've gotten too filthy. The drain you come out alone? Will you come out at all? Will you come out alone? Yeah, yeah, crawling through mud. What's the difference when you come out on the other side? Falling from grace, what's the difference when you come out on the other side? The other side, the other side, on the other side, the other side, will you come out alone? I'm going to eat cookies at 10 o'clock. Oh, nice. Cookies are very bad, but it was not baked. Oh, so hopefully that's edible cookie dough. Have you ever dug in the vacuum shop dumpsters for any vacuums? I don't have any local vacuum shops anymore, ever since my local one closed. So, unfortunately, there are no vacuum shops to dig through the trash of. That's partially why I want to open a vacuum shop, because there's literally an old storefront that used to be a vacuum shop just sitting dormant in my city. I'd like to open it, but I know the person who is renting out the building would obviously rent it for way more than what the original person was renting it out for, I should say. And I can't afford, I can't afford $400 a month in shop rent after already paying $700 in rent for my actual house. It's just too much. So unless it was like $200, I wouldn't be able to afford it. And even that would still be pushing it pretty close. Then I wouldn't really be able to buy much for the actual channel unless I was, of course, actually making enough profit from the shop to offset that and make more money, which probably wouldn't happen. It would probably be just enough to keep the actual front running, if that. Had eggs in it. Yeah. Cajones are not very comfortable to sit on. With lips closed and eyes sealed, your sculpture with a pulse. I wanna capture your essence and keep it here forever, little one. And I feel. What is that? I thought I saw something on the ground out of the corner of my eye. I guess not. And I feel good about you not telling anyone. I forgot the rest of the lyrics. Do you like bass in music, Chance? Yeah, I'd say so. Not too much, though. I'm not really a fan of, like, too much bass. I'm not like, I don't like these songs where it's just like, boom, 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 just way too much bass. But, I'm not all about that bass per se, but I do enjoy bass a little bit. And I feel good. I thought I just got a message, but now I can't find it. I feel good about you. You're just emotion. just lie motionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. Motionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. You feel nothing as I send your soul away. How long will you last? And how long will you stay? As guilty as I feel, I'll make you beautiful forever. Until you run away to nothing, we'll be perfect here together. I feel good about you not telling. I feel good about you. You're just emotionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. You're just emotionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. As you're falling apart, as you're falling apart, it sure seems. No, war is bad. Emotionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. You're just emotionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. You're just emotionless, emotionless. You're beautiful asleep. As you're falling apart, as you're falling apart, it sure seems. Has anyone ever been to Culver's? They are so good. I fucking love Culver's. I could go for some Culver's right now, but there aren't any Culver's near around me. I have to travel to go to one, and they are so good. Maybe it's just the inner Wisconsinite in me who just loves Culver's. I mean, I'm not technically from Wisconsin. My dad's from Wisconsin. It's kind of weird. Like, I always knew my dad was from Wisconsin, but I found out my mom was actually from Pennsylvania originally, not Missouri, which is kind of funny. So, pretty interesting. I wish we had them here. Yeah. Hey, you're actually in Pennsylvania, so yeah, at least you got some decent Philly cheesesteaks. So, that's pretty good. What is Chicago even known for? I guess the Chicago-style pizza. Like, really deep pizza. Is it kind of sad that I've lived in Illinois for, 5 years now, and I've never been to Chicago? I've literally been everywhere in Illinois except for Chicago. I've been pretty much everywhere except for Chicago. I've been to just anything place you can think of. For the most part, I've been there. I guess I haven't been to every random village, but you know what I mean. Every metro area in, central, northern, and southern Illinois. Well, I guess I haven't been to the Twin Cities either. I guess northern Illinois in general I haven't been to too much. So I guess it's just a northern Illinois thing. I just haven't been there. But central and southern Illinois, I'm all around. Obviously, 'cause that's where I live. But yeah, I've never tried Chicago-style pizza. I need to go to Chicago at some point. Pretty cool. Chicago. Everyone around here hates Chicago because of politics, but hey. It seems like they have good pizza. I've never tried it, but I've heard a lot of good things about Chicago-style pizza. Apparently there's a lot of beef behind, no pun intended, beef between
New York City and Chicago for their different types of pizza and whatnot. And I'm just like, I don't care. I just love pizza. I love me some pizza. I don't care what kind of pizza it is. I've been craving pizza a lot the last few days, last few weeks actually. We never end up. Tracy, you want to join voice chat in your server? Sure, I guess. There's not really anybody in there though. Is there another server that's more people in it? Oh, not really. Now, for some reason, Discord is recently just like shoving nitro down my throat for some reason. Boop 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 doo. 1:02 a.m. It is 12:03 a.m. here. I'll probably wrap this up pretty soon. It's past midnight my time. And I've got a lot of I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so I think I'll wrap this up. I'll sign off at 12:05. So any last things you guys want to talk about before I sign off, and feel free to drop it below. Bye. Okay, bye. I guess people are saying bye now, so I guess I might as well wrap this up. Alright, this is Intelitech Studios signing out. I'll see you. Oh, talk about the vacs you sold. Thank you, Chance, for everything. You're welcome. Thank you. I wonder if the Collectors Group server is any better. It's kind of dead now, but yeah. It's okay. Let's see. Talk about the vacs you sold. I sold... not much. I sold that one Dirt Devil I had for a long time. With the folding handle. Not the Total Pad, I still have that, but the Quick Power. I sold all of my bagless Power Forces. Sold the Power Group Multicyclonic. What else? Actually looking through to see what I sent or what I sold. Yeah, I mean, not much else. Not much else that I sold recently. I did give that brand new teal Dirt Devil Power Express, the one that I bought brand new like 2 years ago. I literally never used it. I gave that to my mother-in-law, or soon-to-be mother-in-law, whatever you'd call that. I gave that to her since she likes the color green, and I fixed up her 4870 for her, but she can't really use it because of her shoulders. So I gave her the green one because I know she liked the red one. So I figured I'd give her the green one. So now I have the red one back, and I'll give the red one to my friend Justin, who needs it for his shop. So that's pretty much that. All there is to say about that. Anyways, that is pretty much that. How's your Panasonic doing? To tell you the truth, I have not used it. I have not used it at all. I did put a filter in it, and that's about it. So I need to use that at some point. I probably will. But yeah, ever since I ran it, last time I ran it, it was working great. So should be okay. So yeah, that's doing good. Tired. Alright. This was Intelitech Studios signing out. I may do a stream soon on the Intelitech mobile channel if you want to see more video game and tech related streams, because it looks like I have the option to do it, but we'll see if YouTube disallows me to, since it's a small channel. We'll see how that goes. Subscribe to Intelitech Studios, subscribe to Intelitech Mobile, and I'll see you guys in the next stream and in the next video. I hope you all have a good one. The next video will be on the Phantom Thunder, and the next video on Intelitech Mobile will be on the PlayStation 3 Super Slim. So that's fun. So if you want to see either of those, subscribe to both those channels. See you guys in the next video, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace.